got about 20 minutes to go before we get to the hour of 8, but you're still tuned into the morning show right here on eTv. Now, my next guest has been called a literary protege, a Peace Prize nominee and a national treasure. But to her peers, she's also just a teenager chasing her purpose. From smelly cats at the age of 7 to 7 distinctions in matric, Stacey Fru is taking her story into exciting new chapters, and today she joins us right here on the morning show to talk about the magnificence that she is, and firstly how she has actually just managed to achieve so much in the past couple of years. I'm actually still blown away. I've spoken to Stacey before, and back then we were speaking about some of the books that she had written. Stacey, welcome back to the morning show. So good to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
I think back then when we had a discussion, you were still quite young and you had just written some books, right? And now I actually want to give more perspective. Stacey has written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books.
7, yes.
You have just passed matric with 7 distinctions. And I am just like, girl, in the midst of writing all of these books, when did you get the time to study?
In my matric year, I did take a break. So there was a lot of things that I scaled back on, the interviews, the public speaking. I tried to be as engaged in my foundation as ever, because I think that's something I hold close to my heart. But my literary journey did go on a bit of a hold for me to focus on school.
So there was still a balance. Like,
I can't
with everything came a balance, right? But I think the one thing that has been consistent in your life is the relationship that you've had with your mom, and how your mother has just been quite supportive of everything that you have done, right? Talk to us about that relationship for people that are probably meeting you for the first time in this conversation. Talk to us about the role that your mom has played and why that role has been so important in your growth and in you becoming Stacey Fru today.
That is such a lovely question, because today is actually my mom's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to your mom!
Happy birthday to her. Yeah, I would not be where I am today without my mother. She has guided me. She helped me through everything. At first, yes, she had her doubts like other people. I mean, no one really believed that I had written my first book at the age of 7. So the skepticism came with a lot of acceptance, and she actually took it upon herself to self-publish all my books so far. She started a publishing company where she's helped many young authors who are struggling to go the traditional route to self-publish and, you know, get their works out there and tell their stories. So my mom has not only been a pinnacle of guidance for me, but she's helped so many other young aspiring authors to find their path and nurture their writing. So she is probably, I would say, my biggest role model, because she's done all of this. She's traveled with me every single country I've gone to. This is actually my first time going to an interview without her. But, you know, it's her birthday. Let her sleep in.
Yes, she needs to rest.
So she's always been there with every triumph, every failure that I've occurred in my journey. And I'm extremely grateful for her.
Sheesh, man. Talk to me about the number 7, right? You wrote your first book at the age of 7. You've now gone and published 7 books. You passed with 7 distinctions. I mean, there's a bit of a trend here. Talk to me about your relationship with the number 7.
I don't know, it's such a strange relationship. I don't know. We only picked up on this after I got my 7 distinctions, that this number had kept on occurring in my life and bringing me so many good things, one could say. But other than that, you know, it's just a number at the end of the day.
So look, because now this number 7 has become quite a thing in your life, right? I don't want to ask this, but does this mean that you are done writing because now we are sticking with the number 7? Or are we looking at you still writing more books?
I would like to write more books, but you know, it's my first year in university. I'm still kind of adjusting. Things are a bit hectic, but I would like to continue writing, but more so try push my philanthropic work out there and try help more kids.
Talk to me then about varsity, right? Because I look back at my time in varsity, and the switch from matric to varsity is just like bam, bam, and you're in it, and you just have to figure things out, and you just have to work your way through it. And I can hear now with you saying that, hey man, I want to, but I'm still managing varsity. What's varsity life like? And maybe let us in on what you have decided to pursue now as a form of career or as a form of study.
So yeah, we did hear it a lot that, oh, the jump from high school to university is going to be big, but no one really like warned us enough. Like going into varsity, I was like, okay, it's going to be high school a bit bigger, but we'll manage.
Yeah, it's different, girls.
It's very, very different. I think for me, what I'm struggling the most with is getting used to this thing of lectures, because I used to be very close with my teachers in high school. Lecturers, we switch them every couple of weeks. They don't have time to attend to all 400 kids in the classroom. So having that disconnect is now, it's me trying to fill in the gaps on what I can do to better manage my time. And I chose to study engineering, so it's been quite a lot. I mean, I'm enjoying it though. But it's tough.
No, man, but you'll get through it. I think you've managed to do like some pretty hard things in your life, right? So this one I think is just one of those that also is just adding to Stacey Fru's development, and I think is also just forming part of your journey. But one thing that people don't know about your matric year is how you actually had dancing and music form part of the things that actually helped you study. How does that work? Because if anything, a lot of people try to shy away from those things because they think it's a distraction, it's noise, it's not going to help you focus. How did that work out for you?
I think for me, I'm the opposite. I can't focus without some kind of noise, and I do like to listen to music that'll get me like hyped up, pumped for what I'm studying. And I think it helps me because my brain is now focused on two different things, what I'm studying and the music I'm listening to. And so when I get into the exam, all I'm forced to do now is just look and approach the work, no more distractions. So I think it helps my brain focus a bit more when I'm in the exam opposed to when I'm studying. I don't know if that makes sense. It does.
No,
it does make sense.
Weird. It does make sense. Because I think one thing that we have come to realize, and I think we learn this the older we get, is that we're not all the same, right? And we all do things differently based on what suits us and what helps us manage and cope better as people, right? And the one thing about you is that you give yourself time to figure things out. But I can imagine that for a person that has achieved so much in their lives, there might be some sort of pressure that you feel you carry. Do you go through moments like that?
I do.
And how do you overcome them?
I think it's understanding that there was no other way for me to live my life without that pressure. I mean, with the things I've accomplished, I mean, my family members now look up to me and expect more things to come. So you get to terms with it because it's, what else would you expect from them? They just want the best from you.
Absolutely.
And so at some point, you also start wanting the best for yourself. So that's when you start pushing yourself more and more and more.
Yeah. I want to go back to your mom, right? Because there was one thing that she's spoken about and she said she felt about your school back then when you were studying, and she felt like they actually didn't understand your genius. They didn't understand how smart you actually are. How did you guys eventually get to school to understand, or did you then just decide that you guys were going to do things your way?
The problems with the school were never resolved. I think, like my mom had explained, there was a lot of weird tensions between me and the school and my academic awards and stuff like that. So I think we just decided it was too late for me to switch. I just had to complete my studies there and do the best that I can, which was nice because I did come out valedictorian. So
girl,
I took that with me.
Girl, girl. Look, you are quite the inspiration, and I want us to speak to people or young girls right now that are finding themselves possibly in their matric year, feeling quite anxious about the journey, because generally matric does fill you with anxiety because you want to achieve a certain result, because you aspire to study something particular when you then get into varsity. What would you like to say to young girls that are maybe finding themselves in that space, that are filled with anxiety, that are probably putting quite a lot of pressure on themselves, wanting to achieve so much just so they can reach the heights that they aspire to reach?
You know, I often say to my friends that the only good kind of anxiety is academic anxiety, and I genuinely think it's a good thing because it'll push you to wake up in the morning and hit your books. There's no other way, there's no magic formula during matric to achieve well if you're not studying. And I think what makes matric harder is not necessarily the work or the content that you do, but it's just the amount of tests. I mean, every week you're writing something for your portfolio, you're doing a listening comprehension, you're doing X, Y, Z, so there's just so much work. But what you need to realize is that at the end of the day, what matters most, what weighs the most are your final exams. And so if you study consistently towards that and consistently throughout the year, you will make it. And yeah, I think that would be my one piece of advice, is just be consistent and don't burn yourself out before the end.
What's next for Stacey Fru?
I'm not too sure. I think, like I've been mentioning, I just want to focus more on my foundation. We run a lot of projects throughout the year, so that's what's going to presumably be next. And of course, I'll get back into writing and see how that goes.
For people that maybe want to support you in your foundation, how can they get in touch with you? How can they go about, assisting you where you might need assistance?
So you can reach out via social media, or you can visit the website pages. That is staceyfrufoundation.org.za, and you can find me on social media at Stacey Fru, just my first and last name.
Oh man, you're such an inspiration, such a brilliant mind. Congratulations on everything that you have achieved. All the best with figuring varsity out. We know you're going to do it. And we can't wait for the other books that are going to come out, for the work that you're going to be doing within your foundation and everything else that is coming your way. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Oh man, what an inspiration. That was Stacey Fru with us right here on The Morning Show. Her brilliance, her honesty and her fire are just remarkable, man. And her journey is of course a reminder that being young isn't a limitation, it's actually a superpower. So from page to platform, from classroom to change maker, she definitely is the story, and we can't wait to read the next chapter. Now up next, we've got Julian King from NASAT joining us in studio as we shift gears to talk about the student accommodation crisis and the realities facing young people in higher education. Stay with us, we'll be right back.